Good morning, precious ones. Here we are together, another fresh day. Let's take a deep breath and check in with ourselves. I feel really good. Yeah, I see my kitty behind me. Frankie, my other cat, is getting himself snuggled in the couch over here. He likes to dig under blankets. He's so cute. He's done that since he was a baby. So just know you are irreplaceable with your own unique experiences, wisdom, light, and what you bring to the world is so special. Whether you're sipping your first cup of coffee, I have my mini mug today I got from my daughter. Or if you're easing into your morning routine or already deep into work, I'm so grateful you're here with me. Today is a gift. It's a brand new page filled with possibility, and let's open it with kindness and curiosity. While we chat, let's remember that we're still growing and learning. So grab your favorite mug, and let's welcome this day with open hearts and gratitude, because every morning is a chance to learn something new. And I'm so happy you're here. If you want to leave your thoughts in the comments, that's great. Or subscribe so you get my new videos. Yesterday, during our check-in, our morning breath yesterday, I started explaining why it's good for you and what's going on. But I was like, I'm going to save my thoughts because I want to do it justice. So I feel like because I'm kind of limited right now to a 20-minute video, I am not getting to the full points of everything that I wanted to do. So I'm going to make this episode about breathing, body scan, and how your thoughts manifest in your body. So no news articles. I don't know. I feel like there's always something new about breathing coming out, though. New, scientific breakthroughs, research, actual evidence. So I want to just read this. I typed this out so that I could make sure I don't forget anything. It's fascinating how the mind and body are essentially a two-way street, your mind and your body. We often think of our emotions as just in our heads, but biologically, your emotions are full body events. Here's a look at the science behind how your breath, your awareness, and your feelings interact. Does that make sense? Like your breathing, your awareness, so like body scanning, like I was saying, and then how your feelings affect the rest of your body. I just realized my microphone's kind of pointing the wrong way. Let me see if I can fix that. Sorry if you didn't hear the intro. Hopefully that's okay. So everything is connected is what this is pretty much saying. So deep breathing is a way to hack your vagus nerve. Deep breathing, specifically diaphragmatic breathing, is essentially a manual override to your nervous system. So I'll just keep going. I have my thoughts on that. But the science says most of the time our breathing is controlled by the autonomic nervous system. So you don't think about breathing. It's your nervous system will just activate and contract your diaphragm and, relax. It's, I know how breathing works because I studied speech language science. So your diaphragm contracts, and a relaxed diaphragm is up in your rib cage, creates like a dome. So when it contracts, it goes flat. Excuse me. So when your diaphragm pulls down, in the lung cavity creates a vacuum, and it like spreads your lungs out and it brings air into the lungs. So it creates like a negative force when the diaphragm contracts. So it brings all the air into the lungs. Then when your diaphragm relaxes, that releases the air back out of your body. So that's how breathing works. And it's just autonomic. Nervous system runs that. It's just on a loop. You don't have to think about it or try to breathe. But when you are stressed, that's when the sympathetic nervous system, that is your fight or flight system. When you get nervous, scared, whatnot, that takes over and it causes this shallow chest breathing. So that overrides that diaphragmatic breathing, that contraction that normally happens. But when you take conscious effort to take slow, deep breaths, you stimulate the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve, it's the longest nerve of the autonomic nervous system. It stretches from the brainstem to the abdomen. So I know this vagus nerve, it loops like under your aorta, I believe. It's a huge nerve that comes down from your brainstem through your chest cavity and back up. So when you consciously take the slow, deep breaths, you stimulate the vagus nerve. The response of doing that, stimulating the vagus nerve, it's vagus, V-A-G-U-S, not Vegas like Las Vegas, but it's a good thing to remember, maybe a little memory trick. So the vagus nerve with a U, V-A-G-U-S, triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, and that is the rest and digest. That's to calm you down, to put your body into a calm state. So instead of your sympathetic nervous, you're doing your parasympathetic nervous system, which will calm you down. Like scientifically proven, that's what it does. The result, it lowers your heart rate, it reduces blood pressure, and it inhibits the production of cortisol. I remember a few years ago, every year in January, our family sits down and makes, what do you call them? Goals. It's kind of like New Year's resolutions, but we call them goals, goal setting for the year. And one of my goals once was just to reduce my cortisol, because that's a silent killer. I know there's a lot of things called silent killer, but I really believe controlling your cortisol is possible, and it can improve your life, extend your life. It is something probably you should just practice doing. And I made I made a goal that year. And it's good just to have it in your mind. Have it in your mind, something you want to think about when you're going through things. You're like, you know what? How can I reduce my cortisol? Is my cortisol up? I don't know. I'm trying to remember how I started once I made that goal. What did I do? Cortisol. I know I thought about it every day. I read up on it. I researched it, what it does to you. And it's good. I mean, it is good to have cortisol when you're in the fight or flight. Like, you need to get going. Your kid runs out in the street, or, there's a reason why we have cortisol. But in our daily life, having that cortisol when we are in no danger whatsoever, it's not good for your body. So I read something about that too. There is a lady who, I saw something on the internet where when she feels herself like getting amped up, feeling her cortisol rising, she tells herself out loud, she says, "I'm safe. Nothing is hurting me. I am safe." something like that. She had like 3 sentences she would say to herself when she would feel herself getting into that state. Like, you get that email, the boss is like, I need that now. The stress of life, or your kids are like, tomorrow is the bake sale. I promised you would bring 3 cakes. So those kind of like stressful moments. So you can take control of that stress hormone, cortisol. Tell yourself you're safe. When you start feeling like, oh no, this is wrong, and catastrophizing, a lot of people catastrophize like, oh no, if I don't get this thing done, then my boss is going to hate me. And so if you can just think to yourself, what's going on in my body right now? Use that deep breathing hack. Activate your, what was it? Sympathetic? No, the parasympathetic. Yes, the parasympathetic, the rest and digest part of your nervous system. Now, a body scan is rewiring. It's called interoception. Interoception? A body scan is the practice of mentally scanning your body from head to toe and noticing sensations without judgment. So that's what I do every morning when I'm doing my breath. I like feel top to bottom, because sometimes, you can feel like pressure in your head, like, oh, I think I'm getting a sinus infection, or maybe I'm just worried about something, like, and in my neck, from studying speech language therapy, and I was feeling people's throat and looking in the back of their mouth, things like that, with the otoscope, and I could feel some people hold a lot of stress in their neck. So you could feel like, even in the front of the neck, a lot of people, I don't know, or maybe lift the front of your body, and that creates a stress. I hold it in the back here, so I can feel when I do my body scan. I'm like, ooh, okay, I think I am holding some stress, or what is that? Then in the chest, you can feel, oh, I have a chart later I'll go through. But yeah, different places in your body, you can feel different emotions. So the science behind this is this practice enhances your interoception, your body's ability to perceive the internal state of the body. This process primarily involves the insular cortex in the brain. The cortex, so that means like the surface, I believe, of the brain. So cortical thinking, so this is cortex, cortical thinking. Studies using MRI have shown that regular mindfulness, like body scans, can actually increase the gray matter density in the insula and the prefrontal cortex. Oh, maybe insula is the insular cortex. So that is the gray matter that is deeper in the brain. That's not the surface. So yeah, it increases the gray matter. So I know the white matter in your brain is the insulated neurons that have like the fatty insulation on it. That makes it the white. The gray matter is where the neurons are more touching each other and more directly interacting. So, that's really interesting, actually. Yeah, it can increase your the gray matter density. Sorry. Emotional regulation. By focusing on the raw physical sensations, like a tingle in your foot or a tightness in your calf, you move activity away from the amygdala. That's your fear center in your brain, and it directs it towards the rational frontal lobes. This allows you to observe a sensation rather than being overwhelmed by the emotion attached to it. Yeah, so that's good. Body scan, you're feeling in your body without judgment. You're not reacting to what you feel, you're just feeling, which There's like a ton of studies on that as well. Being mindfulness, or having mindfulness, being mindful, you can experience something and think about it and let it go. It becomes a practice. So this is called, the next thing that I was talking about, the list of where you feel different things in your body, is called somatization. The process of emotional distress manifesting as physical symptoms is called somatization. This isn't all in your head. The physical pain or tension is objectively real. Your feelings manifest in your body. When you experience a strong emotion like grief, anxiety, anger, the brain's limbic system sends signals to the rest of the body via the endocrine and nervous system. So, if you're feeling anxiety, it says you can get butterflies or nausea. So, blood's diverted from your digestive tract into your muscles. So, that's the actual biological reason you'll feel that way. Anger, you can feel a tight jaw or a hot chest. So the increased blood flow in the upper body for a potential fight, that's what's creating that. When you're feeling grief or sadness, you can feel a heavy chest or what you'd consider heartache. The activation of the anterior cingulate cortex, which processes both emotional and physical pain. So something is actually going on in your body when you're feeling grief and sadness. Now, stress, you could get tension headaches. For me, it's shoulders. Prolonged contraction of the trapezius and scalp muscles. If you're like tensing up, you'll get those tension headaches. Now, the most interesting part is the facial feedback hypothesis. This was something I learned researching. The facial feedback hypothesis is the idea that your facial expressions don't just reflect how you feel, they can actually shape how you feel. And that goes for your body as well. Not only does sadness make you slump, but slumping can actually increase the feelings of sadness. This is why body scans and deep breathing is so effective by manually changing the physical symptoms of the feelings. You signal back to the brain that the threat has passed, and effectively you calm your mind from your body up. That was all I had printed out, but isn't it a miracle? Isn't it great how, you really can. What do you have control over? You have control over your mind and your body. You really do. You have automatic responses, you have reactions, but then you have the ability not to judge yourself for reacting, but to bring yourself back to that calm state. Don't judge your body's reactions like, oh, I'm always so stressed. Oh, I just can't control when I'm angry. You can, and it just takes practice. Breathing. I can't preach breathing enough. I love breathing. Don't you love breathing? Don't we love breathing? Like kitty's waking up. But I don't know. I hope something that I said today helped. And it was a good reminder to me, and I really like that I printed all this information out. I'm going to read through it again. It's such a good reminder. Take that deep breath once a day. Even if you're going through your day, it takes seconds to get through that. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday. Enjoy your day. As we wrap up our time together, dear friends, I want to remind you, keep growing and keep learning. Every single day is a chance to become something new, to stretch a little further and become even more of the wonderful person you are. You're valued, you are capable, and the world is better with you in it. I truly believe that. Thank you for sharing time with me. I'll be here tomorrow with more wisdom, heart, and coffee. Until then, I hope you have a beautiful day, and you are the Lord's precious ones. Bye.